Happy lunch hour, guys. It's still Friday. Quiet day today. It's good news. Okay. Nothing crazy. Joe hasn't put his foot in his mouth yet, and Russia hasn't nuked Ukraine. So we can talk about something that's a little closer to home. So I want to give you this after this morning's video. And you guys have already sent me a ton of good ideas, so it's going to take me a little bit of time to put all this together, but I'll get it up here sometime over the weekend for sure. But I want to ask you this. You've been working hard this week, trying to get ahead? Probably. Are you succeeding? Maybe not, okay? Because the way things are going in the world right now, the harder you work, the less we seem to make, okay? I mean, we all know that wages haven't gone anywhere in 20 years, but God knows inflation has gone through the freaking roof, okay? But it's kind of interesting because the one thing we as preppers are not allergic to is hard work in anything we do. It's hard work building a pantry, inventorying, stocking, storing, doing everything. It takes time out of your day. It's hard work building a garden. It's hard work running around trying to find deals on ammo, fertilizer, whatever it would be. It takes effort. And that's one thing that preppers have never shied away from, working hard at something. It takes work to cut up meat, cut up vegetables, can them, and everything. It takes your entire day, your entire weekend, whatever it would be, your free time. While everybody else is out throwing a frisbee around or sitting on a beach or watching a movie or whatever it is, you're busting ass. Okay. Now, there's a problem here because the lifestyle that you and I lead by working hard, and like probably all of you guys, I go to bed at night. I'm usually pretty sore from doing whatever I've been doing, okay? Lifting, digging, moving, just anything like that. As we get older, hey, we get a little bit more pain, okay? But we cruise on. But when you come into the financial side of things, okay, then it gets really difficult because it used to be working hard would get you ahead in life. And now it seems to be you working hard gets somebody else ahead in life, okay? Pick one. Jeff Bezos is a billionaire. The people at Amazon make minimum wage. Bill Gates is a billionaire. The people in Silicon Valley living in, 3 and 4 and 5 to an apartment because they can't afford it. All right. This is nothing new. I mean, you go back to the 1600s in Holland and tulips, okay? Everybody's always looking for a get-rich-quick scheme. Doesn't matter. Hey, the less I have to work and the more money I can make, wonderful. I say 1600s in Holland because tulips. Remember people buying tulips and then eventually tulip bulbs that were, oh my God, this is the greatest investment ever. Freaking tulip bulbs, okay? Please, somebody tell me that the next big thing is going to be green bean seeds, right? Okay. But that's the problem. This is what goes on. Think about the 1840s, okay? All of a sudden, gold was discovered in California. What happens? People went to California in droves to get rich quick. Look at the 1920s in the U.S. Hey, the stock market's great. What do? Borrow money to buy more stock. Oh, you're maxed out on how much you can margin? Borrow money from the bank to put that in your account and borrow money against the borrowed money to buy more stock. Ooh, all of a sudden it went just like a bunch of guys did from the top of skyscrapers on Wall Street. Okay. There is no such thing as get rich quick. You will hear people say all over the place, invest in the stock market. It always goes up. Yeah, okay. Historically, if you want to look at a picture from 1929 to today, it's gone like this. Problem is, it didn't go like this. It went like this, okay? If you invested in the stock market the day before the crash in 1929, it took you 30 years to break even. Break even in dollars, not break even in spending power. You put $1,000 in 1929, you got $1,000 out in 1954, okay? Problem was $1,000 didn't buy as much in 1954 as it did in 1929. Look at, I don't know, was it the 1980s? Pet rocks, Cabbage Patch Kids. I mean, people were paying hundreds or thousands of dollars for a freaking rock somebody glued eyes on. Yeah. And then they wonder why it all blew up. Look at the last couple of years. How many buy Bitcoin, buy this? It's the get rich quick idea, right? I bought Bitcoin back when it was 6 cents and I sold it when it was 60,000 and I made billions of dollars. Right. Sure. You bought it when it was 6 cents and you didn't go, look, honey, it's $1. I've made 15 times my money. I'm selling out. Do not tell me you bought it at 6 cents and you sold it at $60,000. You are full of shit. Okay. Greed kills, period. What's going to be the next big thing? Food? Very possibly. You look at everything that's gone on in the world in the last month. We could talk about the last 2 years, but I want to talk about the last month. The last 2 years, food prices have gone up. Last month, food prices have exploded. You look at what's being talked about going forward. Gee, there's not enough grain in the world. Europe, where's it? Hungary, Austria, and Germany don't want to put sanctions on Russia because they'll starve. Okay? They'll freeze and they'll starve. The Austrian president came out and said, we can't support sanctions against Russia. We won't eat. He who controls the food controls the future. What is the next big thing? The next big thing could very well be food. Imagine that you are in a situation where you want to buy a quart of oil for your car. You have 5 quarts of oil, you got to change it. And the guy who has 5 quarts of oil says, I'll sell you the 5 quarts of oil for 5 pounds of green beans. That's very possible, guys, in an SHTF situation that we are heading into right now. Because food, water, and shelter are basic necessities. We already have a lot of people in this country that don't have shelter. We have a lot of people in this country that don't have food. What happens when you double that, triple that, quadruple that, quintuple that? What happens when we have 50 million homeless in the United States? What happens when we have 50 million people hungry in the United States? What becomes currency at that point? Now, y'all know I'm a proponent of buying gold and silver after you have all your food needs taken care of. Gold and silver is a way to save money. Food may be a way to make money. And I'm not saying to earn money. I'm saying to literally make money. The money tree out in the backyard that every kid thinks we have, that may actually come to fruition. Your garden, your apple tree, your whatever could literally be the next money press. Because when you need something, there might be 10 people there going, I'm hungry. I'll do whatever I can for that apple. Think about that when all these people talk about get rich quick. Every scam, scheme, Nigerian, whatever deal that you hear about. Think about what's actually realistically possible when food supplants fiat currency as your storage of wealth. Can you imagine being a millionaire because you have a dozen apple trees? What if you're feeding 20 people off of what you grow? You're the king. Not that you asked to be the king, not that any of us do. We just want to kind of go on with our lives. But that's the way you would be viewed. You have the power of a basic necessity in life. Can you imagine, go back to the medieval times. You had the big castle on the hill surrounded by all the serfs in their little huts. Can you imagine if that's your house? You're the castle on the hill, and out in your yard are a bunch of tents. The people that will do whatever they need to for that apple, for that carrot, for that bowl of vegetable soup that day, because it's the only way they can get food. I know it's a scary thought, but so many people want to build wealth. What is wealth? Wealth is what's in here, okay? There are many poor people, on a dollar standard, that are a hell of a lot happier than many rich people on a dollar standard. Just because you've got more greenbacks doesn't mean you're a happier person. Money can't buy you happiness. Remember that? The only thing having more money means is you've got more expensive problems. If you're used to eating chicken legs, chicken thighs, and mashed potatoes, okay, fine. You back down a little bit, you can deal with it. If you're used to eating filet mignon and caviar, and that ain't around anymore, are you going to eat chicken legs and mashed potatoes? You're going to be pissed. Okay. But if that's the only thing that happens, this is where you're going to have a total flip of the world in this SHTF situation that we are headed full speed ahead into, a food shortage. Come out on top. Nobody wants to be a king. But I sure as hell am going to make sure that I can feed my subjects, my dogs. They'll eat. There's a lot of people out there that won't. Be ready to have people looking up at you going, please, sir, may I have another? Because that's where it's coming. Pinball out.